The shoebill, also known as the whalebill, whale-headed stork or shoe-billed stork, is a very large long-legged wading bird. It derives its name from its enormous shoe-shaped bill. Depending on your perspective, a shoebill either has the same goofy charm as the long-lost dodo, or it looks like it might go on the attack any moment. What makes the aptly named shoebill so unique is its foot-long bill, that resembles a Dutch clog. Tan with brown splotches, it's 5 inches wide and has sharp edges and a sharp hook on the end. Its specialized bill allows the shoebill to grab large prey, including lungfish, tilapia, eels, and snakes. It even snacks on baby crocodiles and Nile monitor lizards. At first glance, shoebills don't seem like they could be ambush predators. Reaching up to 5 feet tall, with an 8-foot wingspan, shoebills have yellow eyes, gray feathers, white bellies, and a small feathered crest on the back of their heads. They also have long, thin legs with large feet that are ideal for walking on the vegetation in the freshwater marshes and swamps they inhabit in East Africa, from Ethiopia and South Sudan to Zambia. Shoebills can stay motionless for hours, so when a hapless lungfish comes up for air, it might not notice this lethal prehistoric-looking bird looming until it's too late. The birds practice a hunting technique called collapsing, which involves lunging or falling forward on their prey. Shoebills are in a family all their own, though they were once classified as storks. They do share traits with storks and herons, like the long necks and legs, characteristic of wading birds, though their closest relatives are the pelicans. Though they're mainly silent, shoebills sometimes engage in bill clattering, a sound made as a greeting during nesting. They keep cool with a technique called cooler fluttering, vibrating the throat muscles to dissipate heat. Chicks sometimes make hiccup-like sounds when they're hungry. You probably wouldn't win a staring contest with it, though you'd be hard-pressed to look away. Taller than a mailbox, with an 8-foot wingspan, the shoebill is quite a kick to observe. This hefty bird with its lesson in gray plumage is endemic to swamps and wetlands of Central and East Africa. Solitary in nature, even when paired with another, the birds like their space and will feed at opposite ends of their territory. But what really gives the shoebill a leg up is its big, bulbous bill, which serves many purposes. Over 7 inches, 19 centimeters, long, and nearly as wide, it is also cavernous inside, and a handy container for fish prey, as well as water to douse its eggs or chicks with, as needed. Oh, and it's a musical instrument. Shoebills perform bill clapping to drive away interlopers and woo mates. Males and females have different tones to their clapping. A league of its own. Once classified as a stork, shoebill stork or whale-headed stork, it is now in a family of its own, Balaenicepetidae. It shares some behavioral and anatomical characteristics with storks, but it is more like herons, Ardidae, with its powder downs, a special type of down feathers located on the breast and belly, and its habit of flying with its neck retracted. Further muddying the waters, the shoebill's mighty skull resembles that of pelicans, but that could be due to convergent evolution and both birds' violent method of fishing. See diet section below. Big bird. Shoebills are large-bodied, sturdy birds. A soothing combination of blue-gray, dark gray, and slate color make up most of its plumage. The belly is white, with some elongated feathers on the breast, with dark, contrasting shafts. It has a small, shaggy nuchal crest and piercing eyes that are yellowish or grayish-white. Its unusual large, splotchy bill has sharp edges, which help in the swift decapitation of prey, and also in separating out vegetation that may be grabbed with the fish. The upper mandible ends in a sharp nail, which helps shish kebab, slippery prey. The shoebill's wings are well suited for soaring. They are strong enough to enable the bird to lift off near vertically, though it requires a powerful leap and a few heavy wing beats to catch it thermal. Its wings help it keep its balance when clambering over shifting, wet vegetation. It has long legs and long toes, which also help it traverse sodden, marshy habitats. The shoebill favors the vast papyrus swamps of the Sud, in northern East Africa. Shoebills stake out over spill areas, where water is moving slowly past toward lakes, carrying with it lots of delicious fish. In Uganda, it is found along marshy edges of lakes, in areas grown over with reeds, papyrus, and grasses for cover and nest material. Its collapsing fishing technique is not effective in deep water, so this bird sticks to the shallows, mostly. Waters with low oxygen content are favored hangouts, as fish need to surface more often, and possibly meet the gaping maw of a hungry shoebill. While they tend to steer clear of human contact, rightfully so, the main goal is to be invisible to its prey below the surface. Shoebills nest atop floating vegetation and gather plant material from surrounding areas to construct their nest. They tend to use deeper areas of swamps, tucked into tall, dense vegetation, away from disturbances. Deeper waters take longer to dry out and are avoided by predators and returning farmers, with their livestock and fires. Shoebills are diurnal, and only occasionally hunt at night if the moonlight is bright enough. While it may perch or roost in trees, it is more often in or near water. It spends a great deal of time motionless. It can be difficult to tell if the bird is fishing or resting. It tends to be slow-moving, except in the moment of collapsing on its prey with lightning speed. Staying cool entails urahydrosis, meaning urinating on its legs, and the inevitable evaporation has a chilling effect on the bird. Like pelicans and storks, shoebills also partake in gular fluttering to release excess heat. The shoebill's sturdy, reinforced bill is crucial, given the bird's hunting technique. Standing stock still, once it detects a fish, the shoebill is all in, swiftly collapsing its entire body weight at the prey item, with its bill taking the brunt of the impact. Lungfish, catfish, and tilapia are common food items, as well as water snakes, frogs, monitor lizards, and young turtles. Less common are young water birds and crocodiles. When a food item is spotted, the shoebill jerks its head forward, lunging full speed ahead, lurching into the water to engulf the fish, and often plenty of vegetation, with its bill. If successful, the shoebill moves its mandibles from side to side to discard excess vegetation, and the fish is swallowed headfirst, unless it's been decapitated first. A meal is followed up with a long swig of water. As stealth hunters, it pays to be mostly silent, but shoebills can create quite a clatter at the nest as they perform their distinctive bill clapping. Adult birds have also been caught whining or mewing at the nest. Young can make a hiccuping sound when begging for food. Nice to meet you. Breeding season is synced to local water levels. It typically begins as the dry season starts, so that the youngsters will fledge at the end of the dry season, as the rains begin. But shoebills in Uganda are not that forward-thinking, and their breeding season coincides with the main rains. Shoebills are monogamous, non-migrating birds that seem content give each other their space when foraging. Nest sites are established and hotly defended from conspecifics with bill clattering and a slow-down version of its hunting collapse. Ouch! If the rival is still undeterred, the defender may leap in the air and crash down on the invader's back. Little is known of their courtship behavior, but it is thought to contain bill clapping and head bobbing. Males and females may alternatively soar over their established site, perhaps aerial advertising their ownership. The shoebill's nest is built on a pad of floating vegetation or a genuine island, like an exposed termite mound. Among the reeds and papyrus, it is well concealed. The shoebills trample down the vegetation, establishing a nest footprint. They collect plant matter and anchor the base into the substrate. They eventually create a large, flat mound of aquatic plant material. As they add to the nest throughout the breeding season, floating nests may sink deeper into the water and require adding on. Ideal, secluded nest sites may be used year after year. Shoebill chicks are covered in thick, silvery gray down and already have a wide gape, but that unmistakable bill won't start to bulge for about another month. Parents provide mashed-up food for the chicks for the first month, then leave prey in the nest for the youngsters to swallow. Initially, they need only 3 prey items per day, but by the time they fledge, they need to be fed 5 to 6 times a day. Fledging occurs at around 95 days of age. They are independent at 125